Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Here, we're going to be breaking down the E-mini futures contract per usual. We're going to be looking at the monthly, weekly, daily, and breaking it down into our 30-minute time frame, kind of giving you guys a little bit of insight on what occurred today after the long weekend. Before we get started, guys, if you do not mind, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and if you enjoy the content, please do share that with somebody that finds interest in the markets or would like to have a better understanding of what is occurring in the markets from a technical standpoint. Now, let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of the market. All right, so far we have established a pretty tight consolidation on the monthly, right? Been stating this in every video for the past, the past several months now. We've been in a large balance. I have extremes of a monthly balance that we are just kind of consolidating inside of. However, the consolidation has gotten a lot tighter into a 4 month balance that is more accurate and closely watched than the larger of the and extremes of these balances. Um, 4 month balance. I'm wanting to see acceptance above the 41.41 level up into the 42.0850 level, which is our 4 month balance high. You can see I have this whole area highlighted red, and that's for a good reason. We pushed up there in September, could not get in that range. We pushed up there in December, could not find anywhere in that range. We pushed up in January, didn't get near that range. We pushed up in there in February and got rejected heavily from that zone. We pushed up last month in March, couldn't quite get there. This month, so far, we've pushed into it and have found a little bit of rejection. This is a heavily watched area for anybody that was buying down here at these lows. They're selling up here, if they're swing traders. For anybody that is wanting to establish a swing short position, they're entering here, selling. So you got a lot of supply going on up here, which we're starting to see a little bit of consolidation and distribution of that inventory on our daily time frame and our 30-minute intraday time frame. You can see that here in just a second. But right now, monthly, just in a large balance. Let's go ahead and break down into the weekly. And I'm going to keep the same balance area pulled up at the moment, just so you guys can see how the weekly has reacted to this balance area. Ooh, I think I just messed up. Let's see. How bad is it? Oh no. Bear with me, guys. My mouse is still broken. Okay. There we go. Nice. Sorry about that. All right. So far, we've been one time framing up on the weekly 2 weeks in a row now. 1, 2, 3 weeks if you include this week. We did not take out last week's low. We got near it. Last week's low was 40.9650. This week's low so far is 40.9875. Really good defense by buyers near the weekly low there, which happens to be our daily balance low, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But right now, you can see last week we ended with a bit of a doji, just kind of showing some indecision on what the market is wanting to do, which unfortunately that doji has put our daily into a balance, which is good for the long term. You're wanting to see a little bit of consolidation up here and maybe find more buyers and acceptance of higher price. That would be good for the long run. However, in the short term, market is starting to get a little bit long, a little overly long. So maybe inventory corrects short, meaning we take out last week's low, putting ourselves into a 3 week balance or inside of a 3 week trading range using this week and this week's high, this week's low, this week's high, right? But first, we have to take out this weekly low here, stopping the one time framing up, meaning we're not taking out weekly highs anymore. We're taking out a weekly low, stopping the weekly one time framing up, and then putting ourselves into a balance, right? And then from that point, we could resume it by taking it out, to the upside or the downside, however you want to look at it. But weekly right now is still one time framing up. Uh, Odds favor taking out last week's low just because we are one time framing up. However, the indecision in the tight range that we've been trading in on the daily, I think maybe we just take out this low here. And, the conflict of interest up here as well. The fact that there's a large area of supply, large area where people could be speculating resistance. So what are the masses doing up here? They're selling. So the likelihood of that being defended, seller step in up here is pretty good to let this thing roll over, which wouldn't be bad, in the long run for us to pull back, have a little consolidation on the weekly as well, and then rotate up. So weekly still one time framing up, pushing back into this area of resistance. Keep an eye on that 4140 to 4208 area on their weekly and monthly time frames. Now let's go ahead and look at our daily. You can see the same thing here on our daily. I'm going to keep that same monthly chart or monthly destinations pulled up at the moment, just so you can see how we've rejected so far the first few times of this month inside there, right? We pushed up. We were one time framing up pretty good. Rejected, ended up with an outside day down, putting ourselves into a balance area. And since then, we've just been trading in a daily balance. And I could pull that up right here. We've just been trading inside this balance area between 4163.25 and 4088.50 so far. Buyers are defending that balance low. Now let's see what happens once we rotate up to that balance high on our daily. If we get above that 4163 area, you resume the one-time framing up, and then you start attacking these daily highs back here, right? So that is what buyers want to see. They want to see us continue to hold this area down here and rotate up, right? Like I said, consolidation up here could just mean inventory being distributed from down here to up here. Buyers finding acceptance of price of higher price that is being advertised. Let's see if we can break out this this range to the upside. If we do get up here and fell, this market is likely to roll over, take out last week's low, and then put ourselves into a weekly balance, which wouldn't be a bad idea for the daily to come down, test the 50, test the 20-day moving average, and potentially fill this gap down here. All gaps get filled at some point in time, so it would be best to let it happen sooner rather than later. So keep an eye on this range, 4163.25 to 4088.50, chopping around in there. And I can show you that here on our daily, or on a 30-minute time frame. Let's get into it. Go over what happened today. As far as my trading went today, I didn't really trade a whole lot. There were a few opportunities, but the range, I don't enjoy trading inside of a range. I enjoy trading when the market is breaking out of an area of consolidation. You can see that here. We're just trading, chopping around inside of this range, our balance area, 4163.25 to 4088.50. All right, you can see that on our 30-minute time frame. We've been bouncing around. However, buyers have been defending this low. Buyers have been defending the balance low, or the bottom of that trading range. So what are those buyers looking for? They're looking for us to rotate up here, where they'll exit some of their position and see if maybe we'll break out of this consolidation area to the upside, and they'll reap more of the benefit or more of the reward to the upside. But keep in mind, we do have that big area of resistance from 4150 up to 4200, right? So sellers could potentially step back in like they did back here on this day. However, so far, good defense first time round near the lows. Couldn't even take out last Friday's low. We got near it, couldn't take out last Friday's low, and then rotated up and took out last Friday's high. Or not last Friday, excuse me, last Thursday. We didn't trade Friday. Last Thursday's range, right? So with this being said, we did take back that trend day from Thursday. Thursday, we did have a trend day up, double distribution, lower distribution, upper distribution. We opened up inside the lower distribution from Thursday, meaning we took back the single prints that were here. So if I bring up my destinations, you can see here on my chart where I have all my destinations, and I'll give you these destinations for today here in a second, that we opened up in the lower distribution, meaning we took out all of these single prints. They did not hold up throughout the overnight session. So these go away. These no longer exist. They weren't even reference points for us to backfill or anything because we opened up inside the lower distribution. The only thing that you could have potentially used the first few times was the area where the first or the upper portion of the lower distribution is right there at 41.1350. Could have taken a short against that the first time in C period. Above that, you don't want to really do anything. So that's exactly what happened today. Just kind of slow grind up until late in the evening. Did not, like I said, I did not trade a whole lot as I seen that we still had an inside day. We're still trading inside of this this balance area. Seeing that we opened up near the lows of Thursday. We had gotten the overnight low. Things were kind of confusing initially, but B period couldn't even take out A's low. It began to one time frame up, then C period, same thing, could not take out B's low, continues to one time frame up, taking out the initial balance high. Backed off against the upper distribution the first time. After that, D period continued to grind up higher. Filling in a little bit of volume in here, grind it up higher, continues the one time frame up. Same thing in E period, continues the one time frame up before we began to kind of roll over a little bit near the highs here at the 16, 18 area. And then finally in F period, we get a little bit of a liquidation break as we began to run some stops. Now this is where I began to get involved. I actually got involved on a short in D period early on against C's high. It rolled in enough for me to get out of the trade for a good profit. I wasn't playing with large size today. I was playing with like one or two micros. So, that gain really wasn't a whole lot. And then I tried shorting again in E period against D's high because we had wide point of control down here at the time at A's high. I'm about to highlight that real quick. So point of control was right here at A's high at the time. And I was expecting E period to kind of, not push up against D's high and take it out the first time. I was expecting us to maybe go get, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. It would have been 5 wide at the time. Go get 5 wide at A's high, and then look to rotate up later. But that didn't happen. We took out D's high initially. I got stopped out. Basically put myself down. I wouldn't say down on the day by much, but I was down. And then, I should have, I guess, faded the extreme in E period. That didn't quite happen. We roll in. F period opens up near E's low, takes out E's low, run stops. We get 5 wide down here initially. We get below VWAP. VWAP was right around this area as well. We had half back right here at the time as well. So there's a lot of stops that got taken out. And then once we took out D's low, I actually had put on a small long position against D's low, thinking maybe we would just get point of control here and then begin to rotate up. But once we took out D's low, I got stopped out and this market began to rotate in a little bit lower. Once I seen that we just, had a lot of these weak longs that were buying up here get out of this position, including myself whenever we took out D's low, those stops got ran. Seen it was on pretty light volume. There wasn't much continuation to the downside. We started to consolidate a little bit here. And then on a push up, I decided to get long a nice 5 lot of the micros at 104 and just kind of stepped away for a minute. Just did not want to see us take out B's low. So I had my stop down here at B's low, was risking, what was that? B's low was 99. So I'm risking, roughly 5 points to the downside. And I was looking for a new high on the day, or at least getting back up to E's high. So once I took that long down here below the opening, I'd stated in the chat that maybe, just maybe, this would be an area where large buyers would step into the market, kind of defend that, because we couldn't take out A's low in B period. So what are the chances we take out the day's low again? I didn't really think that was going to be the case because we did take out the initial balance high right out the gate. We had been grinding up. The market, what is it trying to do? It's trying to go up. So I felt like buyers had a good opportunity to step into the market right here, and I was on the right side of things. I said I would not be surprised if there was good absorption here below VWAP just for it to be distributed back up near the highs of the day. But keep in mind, this could roll over and take out the initial bounce low because the range was so small at the time, and we've seen that happen plenty of times. But F period qualified for an afternoon pullback low, so I was kind of expecting maybe that would be the case, and it was indeed, as we popped up pretty good back above the opening, didn't close below, so that was a positive. And then G period opened up, couldn't even get A's high. It takes out F's high, and just kind of rockets up to the upside. And I exited my trade right around 41.12, 41.14, and 41.16 level near the high of day because I didn't know if we were going to take it out. Had I been smarter, I would have held this thing and just move up my stop as it grinded up to the upside for the remainder of the day. And that was one hell of a buy down here at F's low. Uh, even if you didn't buy down here, you bought right above VWAP to run F stop high. You got paid really well. And anybody that held that trade and just moved up their stop the entire time, did really well, as we did end up creating a set of single prints above E's high. So we created double distribution to the upside and then grinded up to the upside the rest of the day. H, I, J, K, L, and M. M even proving to the upside and getting above Thursday's high and into the single prints back from this trend day down on the 4th. So what was once a boring day got lulled to sleep a little bit, turned out to be a really good trading day for the buyers, as each dip was a good opportunity to buy against the previous time frame's low and the set of single prints that was created. Like I said, inventory got absorbed down here and was just redistributed and grinded up higher towards the highs of the day. So let's go ahead and mark some destinations for you guys. That is today's price action in a nutshell. I'm kind of upset that I did not. Oops, I guess I should have kept that. I'm kind of upset that I did not hold, I guess, is what my upset would be. I didn't hold quite as long as I should have, but I do go to the gym right around H period, I period, so good opportunity for me to take some profits, put myself even on the day. I think I made like $17, so nothing crazy, but really good buy down there. Happy with what I did. So let's mark these destinations for you guys. So we have today's low. Let me do this. We have today's low here at 98.75. 98.75 is today's low. What is going on? So if you want to, go ahead and mark these on your chart. That way you have them going forward. Today's low, 410.23. We have an afternoon pullback low here. I guess it would be a textbook afternoon pullback. It is kind of close to the day's low, but I'm going to call it an afternoon pullback low because we did not see that price ever again after pulling back. So really good defense there by the buyers. Really good long on my part. I could not be more happy with how that turned out. I just did not capitalize on it like I should have. But that's something, we got to work on. Patience, being present. I did see the market well, so that's good. So cannot be too upset with myself. Really good opportunity there. All right, we have single prints, and where the upper end of the lower distribution stops, right here at 1750. Trying to get that as close as possible. So 1750. Like I said, double distribution today. Double distribution. Single prints will fill here because, it's something that you look at on the downside, right? It's a downside reference now. So single prints fill here at 1750. Single prints fill, and then they start at I's low here at 22 single prints. And all single prints they're just an intraday gap. and like most gaps, they tend to fill at some point in time. So on a pullback, you would look for it to either hold or for them to fill, and then you could take a long position against that area of fill. Kind of like when M pushed up into the set of single prints, they were filling sets of single prints to the upside, and that's kind of what we're expecting here. We're expecting once we push into this set up here, they will fill because it's an intraday gap. Single prints start 4, 10, 23. And if you guys would like to learn more about this, I highly suggest you guys joining Paul Asmore's room. I'll leave a link in the description below to his channel because he is a great mentor and teacher. I do recommend you guys checking him out. All right, so we have L's high here, which is where our price probe is from M. I'm going to call it a price probe because we went from 33 to the high of 37.75. Do we call it a probe? Do we call it a probe? It's only 4 points. Do we call it a probe? You know what? I'm not going to call it a probe because it really, it's only 4 points. So I'm not going to call it a price probe, actually. I would like to see it at least 5 to 6 points of probage. So we're not going to call it a price probe. All we have is M's high as towards the upper end of the upper distribution. M's high 37.75, which is our high of day. And believe it or not, there is still a little bit of single prints left here in D period, and I'll re-highlight those here in just a second. High of day, 4, 10, 23. Oop, label that, boom. Also, single prints. Single print start here from the 4th. You keep that in mind, and then they fill here at 38.75. I need to re-highlight those because for some stupid reason I deleted it. 38.75. And for those of you that made it to the end of this video, you are a trooper. I appreciate it, and you are a trooper. Single prints fill 4, 10, 23. All right. So let's go over our destinations. So we have a double distribution day. Let's go over what happens if we open up in the upper distribution. If we open up in the upper distribution of today, we can't backfill this set of single prints. If we take out today's high, you will go fill the single prints at 38.75 to that fill at 38.75. Next set 41.40 to 41.43. Above that, you have absolutely nothing until 41.63.25, which is our balance high. So big area up here. I think I'm actually going to change the way that looks in order for it to fit the idea that it is important. So let's go ahead and make this thicker, turn it red. That way we know. Big area. If we open up in the upper distribution today and cannot take out today's high, if we roll over, you'll look to backfill this set of single prints that we made today, 41.22, fill at 41.1750. Below that, you have the afternoon pullback low at 41.1025. And then our low of day, 40.9875, and then 40.9650. And then our balance low down here at 40.8850. Our gap starts, and then it fills at 40.8775. So just still trading inside this balance here. Those are the destinations. Continue to have your hard hats on. Expect a lot of chop in between here. We do have bank earnings this week, as well as CPI, I think. We have CPI on Wednesday. And then bank earnings, we have United Health, JP Morgan, we have Wells Fargo, we have BlackRock, Citigroup. So some pretty heavy earnings coming into the end of the week to kick off the earnings season. So we'll see how that plays an effect on the market. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this 25-minute video must come to an end. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. If you made it, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.